Have you ever wondered why so many new engines are arriving on Sodor? Why Diesel, despite being a troublemaker, is still on Sodor? Why the narrow gauge railway belongs to Mr. Percival, the fin controller now, instead of Sir Topham Hatt, the fat controller? Well, here is the reason. It all started one day when the fat controller was sitting in his office. He was thinking about his engines. His newest engines were Salty and Harvey. Both engines work well, he thought, but my engines may lose popularity as they become older, and I need to make sure I always have new engines so that there will always be something new on Sodor. So he decided to telephone the other railway. A few days later, a representative of the other railway arrived. "I have been told that you want to add engines to your railway," he said. "Yes, indeed," replied the fat controller. "Well, we can arrange that. Just sign here." The fat controller agreed. However, he did not read the contract thoughtfully. "Thank you, sir," the representative said. "Since 2 years from now we won't be able to send you any new engines. We will send you 5 this year. 4 of them will be steam engines. 1 of those 4 will be female." "Excellent. I'm getting tired of being accused for sexism." The first new engine, the female steam engine, arrived on Sodor the next day. I'm sure you know who she was. She stopped at the junction to take on water. James arrived with a passenger train. "Hello," he said. "I haven't met you before. Who are you?" "I'm Emily," replied the engine. "I was sent here from Scotland." "Hello, Emily. I'm James. So have you always lived in Scotland?" "Mostly, though I was built in England." "Do you know where Knapford Station is?" "Indeed," replied James. "It's the next station in your direction. You can't miss it. It's the island's biggest station." "Thank you, James. So long." And Emily puffed away. Well, James thought, he sure seems to be a determined engine. Just then, Thomas arrived. "Hello, Thomas," James said. "You've just missed a new engine." "Bother, that figures. Happened to happen the one day and I'm late," grumbled Thomas. "Maybe I'll see you tonight." "Well, I better go or else I'll be late," said James, and set off. James was not late and arrived at the next station on time. The station was Cronsbury. James remembered that it was here that Duck nearly crashed into his passenger train, but instead ran into a barber shop. The shop had been mended and it was still in business. James remembered that Duck at the time had been sent away from the big station because of Diesel's deception. Diesel was sent packing after that, James recalled. But he has come and gone twice since then, and I think I've seen the last of him now, though. "Oh, I wouldn't be too sure of that," said an all too familiar voice. James gasped. There was Diesel himself. "What are you doing here?" James exclaimed. "Well, let's say your worthy fat controller should read contracts better." "That's Sir Topham Hatt to you," snapped James. "Oh, I think I'll call him the fat controller, now that I'm here for good." Diesel sniggered and oiled away. James was worried, but there was nothing he could do. Meanwhile, Emily arrived at Knapford Station. The fat controller was waiting. "Well, a sterling single," the the Fat Controller exclaimed.
Yes, my name's Emily. I've been sent here from Scotland to help.
And we could use your help, the Fat Controller said. The two of them talked for a while, and presently Thomas arrived. He was pleased to meet Emily. Soon Emily left for work. But as soon as she left, Diesel arrived. "You never said you were bringing 2 engines," Thomas gasped.
I didn't think I was. At least not today,
the Fat Controller replied.
I knew a diesel was coming eventually, but not soon, and I would never have brought a diesel back.
"But you did authorise it," smirked Diesel. "Check the contract." The Fat Controller rushed into his office and did so. Sure enough, there it was written. The Class 08 shunter known as Devious Diesel will become a permanent resident of Sodor. The Fat Controller was shocked. He was also shocked when he read on and found that the price of getting new engines every year. Suddenly, an awful thought struck him. It wouldn't. He read the contract as quickly as he could, while catching everything. Oh God, he sighed at last. All my current engines will not be removed from this island. That's being cleared up. He came outside. Well, it's true, Thomas, he said. Diesel is here to stay. What's that, sir? Thomas asked. It's a contract that I signed yesterday, which was arranged an agreement that the other wearer will provide new engines regularly on my railway. But I didn't realise it would mean Diesel would be here for good, or the prices would be so high. Fortunately, these are the only things they slipped in. So, remarked Thomas, for once, Diesel, you are telling the truth. But Diesel was not there. Thomas looked back and saw Annie and Clarabelle were gone too. Diesel had slipped away and taken them with him. He managed to reach some sheds before Emily did and left them there. That's how Emily ended up pulling them that day. So the Fat Controller had no choice but to keep Diesel on Sodor, and because of the price of the new engines, he eventually had to sell the Scarlet Railway to Mr. Percival. And that is why Mr. Percival owns the railway. Why Diesel is still on Sodor despite playing tricks, and why so many new engines keep arriving on Sodor. So as they used to say on Bill Nye the Science Guy,